Hello everybody, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost, and I am so happy to present to you this big beautiful journal. This is, I'm going to call it Heritage, because this journal I made a long time ago, and it is I'm going to be selling this journal in my Etsy shop as of the uploading of this video, and if you are interested in it, hop on over and check it out. But I'm going to give you a walkthrough here. I completed this journal in 11/22, so I signed and dated the back of the journal on the inside cover on 11/22, but this journal was actually created, oh geez, probably 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. And this journal is made a little bit differently. I almost did not sell this journal because I have a lot of personal attachment to this journal because of its the way it is constructed. I don't know, I just love this journal. And but anyway, I'm going to be selling it, and I want to show you a couple different things that I did in this journal that might inspire you to make fun things. So one thing I did was I made a little removable pen pocket. And this is just on an elastic cording that runs through the journal. You can place it anywhere in the journal that you would like, in between a couple signatures. But I thought it's another way to place a writing instrument along with your journal to accompany it, to maybe inspire somebody to write. And on the back, okay, let me explain on this journal. This is a painted cover with modeling paste with a raised embossed stenciled leaf design, covered in different gilding waxes, gilding pastes, inks. There's even, I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's a light misting of glitter on top. It's been inked around the outside as well. This has been well sealed. This is a snippet roll that I made, and I thought it went perfectly on the spine of this journal. So I put that there. It has some collectible old vintage buttons and some lace and just little appliques, just fun things. It's made with different pieces of fabric together. Now, the actual construct of this there was no book when I started. I did not use a book cover, a gutted book, anything like that. This journal was constructed from scratch, and what I used were, and I'm looking just to make sure that is truly what I used, but I believe this was made from the backs of notebooks. So the stiff back chipboard that is made into the backs of the notebooks, drawing paper books, watercolor paper books. I cut a bunch of those down, and I used those for the spine and the front and the back cover. And then I went ahead and I embossed and painted the front and the back cover. I'll show you the back. Okay. And then on the inside. Okay, so what I did was I took those pieces, I think I'm going to show you this because pictures are better than words, but basically it's a sandwich. There's what I'll call chipboard or cardboard on the outside for the pieces of the front and the back and the spine. Then there's a thick layer of material, and then there's the pieces I use for the inside covers of the front and the back of the spine, which are also of chipboard. So that's the sandwich. It's a very fun, easy design to make. It gives for nice folds, easy folding at the spine seams, and the book will lay flat. Okay, so let's take a peek inside. This is, I believe, from Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and they have some beautiful imagery if you're looking for beautiful imagery. And I'm going to go through here relatively quickly, and there's a lot of things that are tucked in to pockets. I'm not going to pull everything out because there is a lot. Also, there's some ideas in here that I used to do a long time ago and I forgot, so it's fun for me to look back through an old journal and see the things that I used to do. So this is a very old telegram. That's the envelope and the telegram inside, and that is on the front page. This is stenciled and inked paper, and also coffee dyed as well. And there's a lot of clusters going on throughout this journal. Let me just get a good angle for you here. Okay. Here's an ex libris in the front. There's some beauty. Look at the penmanship on this. I don't know if you can see that, but that is just amazing. This old antique ledger page, journal cards made out of music paper, little sewn pages. I did a lot of sewing on paper back then. I need to do more of that. I miss that. I miss that so much. And I forget. I plumb forget. A little page tabs made out of snippet rolls have been applied here. Some beautiful 1891 pieces from the taxi/funeral ledger, which is now all used up, I believe. So, okay, that's all right. It's out there in the universe doing good. Some magnificent old photos and pockets with clusters. All sorts of interesting things. Here's a little handmade bookmark with writing place on the back. And just interesting little things tucked in. There's some envelopes that I put in between the book pages, and then when they got sewed in, I cut off the edges, and you can use those as pockets. There's some really cool buttons in here. I'm going to show you this button. It's a cool button. It's a very old, I don't know if it's a military button. It says something on it. H and C something. Something. I don't have my glasses on, but maybe you can see what it says in the camera, because that's kind of working like a glass. But that's a very cool button. Some dyed cheesecloth. Oh, back up. Beautiful old postcards. Here's some handmade altered paper clips. Fun ideas. Totally forgot about that idea. Need to remember that. Very fun. Torn book page, collaged with a stamp, a little oak leaf, and some words on it. Some tracing paper, which always gives a nice sound as you're going through the junk journal. Here's a great idea. When you have pages that are not wide enough, you can use 2 pages and stagger them a little bit and give that your height. That will work for the height. So another little tip there. See, often these little tips I forget about as I'm going along. So, yep, short-term memory here gone. A collage page, you know, just fun things that I used to do way back when. I used to take old paper and just put things on it and then plop it aside and then eventually use it in journals. Here's a page from a fairy book. Here's like a torn, worn out piece of coffee dyed note paper, and probably old journal paper. Another collage page. Here's the others. This is from a sewing book, an old sewing book. Very cool. Very cool. More tracing paper. Here's some old, I believe this is Greek or Italian writing. I'm going to say, nope, not sure. I'm going to go with Greek. I think it's a Greek letter. And here's a beautiful old image from a gathering of some point. This might be a postcard. Yes. But an old postcard with many faces from days gone by. I always wonder about, you know, they used to turn postcards into, no, I'm sorry. They used to turn photographs into postcards. That was a common thing to do back in the turn of the century. Oh, and there's another postcard in here from, I believe that's, well, it has a Spanish stamp on it, but I want to say Poland. A nice cluster in the corner, fabric and button and glitter. Some Edith Holden. A DigiKit picture with an altered paper clip. Those are fun to make. This is a fun little circle design pocket. Another pocket. Little piece of fabric just sewn onto the page. It's random, very cute. Folded over. Some book pages torn from old Arbery books. More altered paper clips, more stenciling, a lot of coffee dyed pages, little bits of snippet roll used as page tabs, some very old letters and journals in here, more clusters. This is a piece of the handmade paper that I made, and I guess I sealed it. I can feel it's got Mod Podge or something over the top. There's a lot of little pieces of this is marigold. I don't know if you can see the marigold seeds in there. Marigold calendula petal seeds, things like that. Just fun. An old ledger of some sort with lots of tiny writing and altered paper clips. Some atlas, old business papers from the Somerset Trust Company. So you just make it very interesting what you come across when you're going through these little pockets. There's all sorts of fun things in here. I love this picture. Isn't that great? Look at these ladies. Oh yeah, and I want to know, what is she holding? What is that? I'm thinking it's some sort of vegetable, or it's not a polished river stone. She wouldn't be able to hold it with one hand like that. But what is it? Does anybody know what that is? Is that a jackfruit? What is that? A giant avocado? I don't know what that is, but she's very proud of it. And they've all come to honor her and her giant melon. But look at the clothing. Isn't that beautiful? That is just so beautiful. But if anybody knows what that was, please let us know. So lots of interesting. Oh, here's some old dental papers. See if anybody had a cavity back then. It's written in secret dental code, so I'm not sure, but that's sort of interesting. Here's an old postage stamp, vintage page from a postage book, and here's some real postage stamps to go along with that. Just fun things, a lot of sewn elements. Here's a very old, authentic photo of a baby. Looks from 1916, it says. Ah, what a cutie boo. Some old dictionary. This is a little flip-up. Very fun to make with scraps. Fun little butterfly paper clip. This is cute. Here's one of those bird's nests made out of extra threading with 3 little beads. Gives you a little bird's nest. Here's a little multi-layer petticoat style notebook. And this has little pockets in it so you can put different things in it. Like you can put this here. And I just tucked in some stamps and tickets up there, which is very fun. Here's some beautiful old ledger. You almost can't see it. It's so faint, but it is written on gorgeous blue paper, and it just looks lovely. It would be beautiful for collaging and backgrounds. Just more clusters. And just fun pieces. I mean, this is a napkin put over a book page and then sewn. What did I do on the back? Oh, it looked like it could be a cover for something, so that is cool. I haven't done that in a while. Just fun little bits, little tidbits. Here's just a page that opens up. You can write inside. Here's a nice piece of braille paper with the lace, the layers of lace and the braille. Very texture-rich page. Some writing pages. A beautiful postcard and more journal, antique journal. Another page tab. Fun little items tucked into a pocket. A collage page. So a lot of fun things in here. More little bits of materials sewn onto a page. It's just so darn fun. I really need to do more of that. I forgot about that. Here's an upside down little pocket. So there's something tucked in here. And then there's an altered tag. And oh, here's where we were doing some painting on book pages. That was a lot of fun. And so you can splatter and watercolor on book pages. That's a neat thing to do. So this was just a little extra writing area. Somebody wanted to do a little extra writing. A coffee dyed transparent tracing paper. Here's a very old check from 1916. The Suffern National Bank. This is, I guess, a little library pocket or coin pocket. Some movie trivia, some old papers. More old, oh, here's we did the opposite corner. These were from a greeting card. So I put a tiny pocket, little tuck up there and a bigger one down here to catch this paper. Nice way to display things. More pockets, tucked full of all sorts of fun things. These came from a bird field guide, and I cut out a bunch of those, and they're fun to use. If you come across some field guides, look for pretty pictures of birds or flowers, things like that. Here's the center of the signature. It has a little tag that says Grace, a little metal tag. And here is some I think that's dictionary page. Some very aged vintage graph paper. More fun tuckables. Here is a cigarette card in here, an old cigarette card. If you're not familiar with those were collectible back in the day. They probably still make them today. I don't know for sure, but for many, many years, in order to sell cigarettes, tea, there were other things too that they sold, but they would put a card, a beautifully decorated, illustrated card, and people would buy the tea or the cigarettes just to have the cards, and they would collect them. And I am one of those people. Yes, I have a large collection of those, and I love, love, love to collect them because the artistry is so beautiful. Sometimes the artist would do it just for that, and you couldn't find it anywhere else, or you would find it only in certain packs. Like they would leave like number 47 very scarcely out there, and only there would be a few printed, so it was a highly collectible piece. And just learning about all that is so much fun. I mean, once you go down the paper rabbit trail, you might never come back. That's all I can say is you might never come back. And oh, I was blessed to meet somebody last night at a birthday party who understood about old ephemera, and she was telling me that she had done artwork where she would take an old vintage ledger page, and then she would take a piece of dried fern and she would lay it on top, and then she would frame it, and she would hang these as art. And I thought, what a beautiful idea. What a wonderful way to honor the old papers. And they are definitely frameable. This is a cool old stationery piece. It has an envelope and the writing note all in one piece. This is cut out from a greeting card, a little side pocket. Just tucked a little something fun in there. Lots of coffee dyeing. And the coffee dyeing against the white, I think, contrasts nicely, so you see some difference there. Here's an old doily, a vintage doily coffee dyed, some beautiful scrapbook paper with, again, little bits of, you know, you think those little bits are nothing, but when you just run over them with your sewing machine on your papers, you've got gold. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just beautiful. A layered collage design. I did a lot of layering collage pages way back in the day. I need to do more of that. Here's another one, a lot of layered collage. Just little bits of fabric, stamping, negative pieces, some embossing. Here's a cute little pocket made from a book page with the library catalog card and an old check from 1901. It says 1901. There you go. Or a receipt of some sort. Not sure exactly what that is. Oh, here's an old, I thought this was just funny to add, an old Tampax ad. They were only $1.09 a box. Boy, those were the day, huh? Not that I need those anymore, but you know how it goes. So here is where the pen has landed. So I just put it in between two signatures, and that's an easy place for that elastic pen holder to sit. And that's removable. If you don't want it there, you can take it out. More clusters. Here's a layered collage journal card. A little pocket sewn out of brown craft wrapping paper, tucked with some goodies and an old, I think this is Russian. And it has the meaning on the back. There you go. Vocabulary cards are fun to collect. This is, yep, it's a postcard. This is I think this is a new old postcard. This is a reproduction of an old, probably an old Victorian card, I would say, or turn of the century card, but the imagery was so beautiful. Popped it in there. And more little pockets full of goody whatnots. Collage a big piece onto some tracing paper. So things that I have not done in a long time, but very fun. Here's some recipes. That arbor book, a tree book. Here's a glassine bag with a horse stamp, and I put a very old Victorian trade card. And this one is neat because, I don't know if you can see it. It has embossing on it, and it just feels really cool and delicate. It's probably blank on the back, but it's just really, really cool. And that just goes perfectly in there. Here's a dyed book page, turned into a little writing notebook. Here's somebody's old report card from 1925. Wonder how they did. Little cluster in the corner, very fun. Lace with old dictionary page, very nice. Here's an old piece of, is it? Yeah, it's an advertising piece. So that means this was a Victorian trade card where a company was trying to let people know that they are out there. So they made these beautiful collectible pieces that people could hang on to. And that way, your items, your shop name would always be at the ready for people who were shopping. Yep. This says Brave, a little metal tab in the middle. And here is an old real estate investment, sale of real estate. So it's a document from the sale of a piece of real estate from way back when. That's right. See a date on it here? In the year 1930. Somebody scratched it out and put 30. Okay, there you go. That's very cool. So you get to see how they did things. You know, how was business conducted back then? What did they do? How did they make it all official and legal? An old, I believe this is Christmas or New Year's postcard. Sometimes just tearing a piece of book page and gluing it on is enough. It has that glue book, smash book feel. A torn piece can be used to give a different feel or a different texture. See, this is torn, but it lets the cluster peek out on the ledger. More tuckables, fun things in here. If you ever come across any of these cards, this is a card about tea and different teas. Those are fun to put in junk journals. A beautiful little girl. There's an old piece of ledger back there, antique ledger. An old label, a big cluster up here. This is the book of clusters. Another page tab. There's an old Kodachrome slide. And that's a little, that opens up. It's an old poem put in here. Those are fun if you come across a little poem book and you want to tuck poem or quotes or favorite pages from your books, things like that. That's fun to put. Some old business paper ephemera. Here's an old, somebody didn't know what this was. And boy, I guess that dates me, but these are from jukeboxes where they put the name of the record or the song and the person who sings it, and you could either pick the one on top or the one on the bottom. But those were fun, and I was so surprised that somebody didn't know what that was, but now you do. Okay, there you go. That dates me, right? Because I know what it is. I know what a rotary dial phone is. You know, I know what life was like without a cell phone in front of your face. You know, or even before computers. Yeah, I came from that era. Some little poems. I just thought they were really cute. And this is a little notepad back here. So just different ways I used to do things. Just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. You know, I mean, some of these things I just have not seen in a long time. I remember making this. I remember making this. This was some piece of scrapbook paper, and I just thought I'd have a lot. I paint and stenciled and splattered and turned it into a little tag, and that was fun. Yeah, and I used to make a lot of bookmarks. Bookmarks I think are a lot of fun to make. Very easy to make. They use up scraps well. Plus they're really pretty. Old tickets. Some old writing, an old letter at this beautiful scene by the lake. Another photograph. Here is some dried flowers, and people often ask me about the dried flowers. These are very dried and very crumbly, but when you cover them with Mod Podge, it can actually make the page somewhat flexible so they don't break. And that's what I did here. I just took this, I glued the elements down, and then I covered this area with a thin layer of Mod Podge, and it has this, like, I don't know, vinyl-y kind of sort of feel, so it does have some flex. Hasn't cracked yet. I've been through this book many times, and it says fearless. And I think that was a good word to put here because I had to be fearless to do that. So go forth and have fun with your nature. I guess that's what I'm saying. Here's an old milk bottle cap, and this is wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Okay, well then, you know, we've all just been told by this little, you know, Victorian card. So here's another Victorian card. You can tell by the stylizing of it. We made this not too long ago. The other day we were doing things with greeting cards. This was a giant belly band, and I tucked some fun things in here. This is the Clan of Leslie, number 132, the Order of the Scottish Clans from 1938. So that might be some interesting reading in there if you know of it. I actually know somebody with the last name Leslie. But there you go. And there's that beautiful woman. We had that picture. Remember her? Remember her? She's got the attitude and the foot. I love the foot. The way she's like poking it out there, looking good and sassy, taking names. And remember this thing? We made this before. It does this. Woohoo! Oh, I'm sorry. Woohoo! Woohoo! I've got a video on that somewhere. See if I can find it. Here's a very old Victorian trade card. And just this I made. It's just put a rubber stamp on this piece of chipboard. It's for a library card. Yeah, if you can't find the old library cards filled out with the names, because they are hard to find these days, and when you find them, they're very expensive. But you can make your own. You can get that stamp. I'm sure it's available everywhere somewhere. And you can just write your own names and things like that and make a faux old library card, which would be fun to do. And we made, this came from a greeting card, but we jazzed it up a little bit and put it in here. There's an old check in here, just some neat embossed paper. This little, I think this is a table place card setting. Like Joe Schmo, sit here. And we're at the very end. Now, this is a really neat piece of history. This is, I believe, from Poland. Don't quote me. Could be Romania. It has some Chicago, Illinois, but I think it's somebody's, this is the whole thing, too. It has several pages of either somebody's work or, I think not travel, but definitely maybe work. I'm going to go with work, and I think it's Polish. Can anybody tell? I'll put it up there so people can see. Russian? Polish? Ukrainian? Lithuanian? Polka. So I'm thinking Polish. I could be wrong. Could also be Ukrainian. I know I bought a bunch of Ukrainian items, so... But you never know what you come across, so... And I just clipped that right in there so the person could enjoy it. In the very back, we have a stamp, which I haven't used in a long time. And this is a receipt, that's a handwritten receipt for $98, which must have been a lot back in 1888. Look at the calligraphy on there. Isn't that beautiful? The way they used to write with the fountain pens. Just lovely. Here's this is one of my little bunnies that I drew a while back. And I just thought I'd tuck that in there for fun. So, if you would like this to be yours, she will be available in my Etsy shop for purchase. And I'm going to bind her with a loose sash so that she will stay together, because she's a chunky monkey, as we know her. And so she has 4, 1, 2, oh no, what's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures with a heck of a lot of pages. I'm guessing 10 to 12 pages each. I'll give you the official count in the description. And she is, oh, I don't think I gave the distance. Okay, let me measure. 9, she's probably 9 by 6. Yeah, 9 by 6. And she's got a very fat spine. Very wide. Here, let's see. It's almost 2.5 inches. So she's a chunky monkey. But there you go, folks. She's a piece of paper Outpost history. And I hope you like her. So I hope she finds a new and happy home. Have a happy holiday, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And we will talk to you soon. So don't forget, I've also got 25% off all through November in my merchandise shop. If you like Create with Reckless Abandon or Everything is a Craft Supply Until Proven Otherwise in my merchandise shop, which is my t-shirt shop. You can put that on a t-shirt, a zipped hoodie, a sweatshirt, a mug, a tote, or a water bottle, and give it to yourself as a special gift, family member, or a fellow crafter. So there you go, folks. My videos come out Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. My podcasts come out Tuesdays and Thursdays. New audio material. And the other days of the week, you can watch video podcasts on my, come here, Sundle Bundle, video podcasts on Spotify. All related to paper crafting, junk journals, life of a crafter, and answering your crafty questions. I gotta get myself in here. Here, I'm coming in. All right, here we go. All right, carry on, Mom. All right, I've got an Etsy shop where you can find journals and bundles when they are ready. My DigiKits, which are printable downloads. I've got over 180 different ones. They come in themed packages of 5 pages each, and you can print them out at home. And if you use them in your junk journals for pockets and tucks and fun things like that, yeah, they're really fun to use. And if you don't like to print, or you don't have a printer, don't like to print, don't have a printer, Mom will print them for you. Yes, she will. And she does them in batches of how many? 10. That's right. And what do they need to do? Send your list of 10 DigiKit names to, you take it away, Mom. All right, send the list to Etsy, message or email pam@thepaperoutpost.com. Yep. And then you can, sorry, yawning. I will print those off and send them to you. And I print them out on a nice lightweight cardstock for you. So they're nice and somewhat stiff, so you can use them right away. Easy to cut out. We try our best, do we? She really tries her best. Okay. And FUNDLEs, if you like old and interesting papers like antique ledger, old checks, old receipts, old business papers. I always forget music paper, dictionary, science, nature, and so much more. I can't remember it all. Tell them, Mom. It's over 100 pieces. It includes free priority shipping, and you just play one fat. You play one fat fee. You pay one flat fee for it. Yeah. And I have an Amazon shop. Yep, she does. And you got too many shops, Mom. It confuses people. I know. It confuses me too. But if you're looking for favorite tools and supplies, like what scissors I use or what inks I use or what glues I use, that's the place to go there. That does help my shop here, but you do not pay more by using my links there. Cool. And we get more kibble and treats. Okay, yes, it's true. We do. And you can find us on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Facebook group. Come join the Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. You're doing weekly, monthly challenges and seeing what you guys like make from these video ideas. Yeah, they're so cool. You guys are so inspirational. We love it. And remember, most of all, that fun can be simple and create with reckless abandon, everybody. Take care. Bye. Okay, thank you, Sunshine. All right, back in the bed with you. All right, everybody, go have some fun. Have an awesome day, and I hope Heritage finds her new home. Take care, everyone. Bye.